Man, I tell you what. Friggin' health,
Yeah, it's a hassle.
health insurance really grinds my gears because it's like, bruh, I ain't paying you a premium every, week, 2 weeks, however it comes out my check. And then on top of that, I gotta go through and sign up for shit. And then after I sign up for shit, I can't just go to any doctor and do what I want to do. I gotta be like, oh, well, is it in network? Are these services covered? And then yesterday trying to find a therapist.
Gotta meet certain requirements.
What?
Or what does one phrase that somebody give you mean compared to what your actual therapist would want for you? Like the unlimited visit thing. It's like
it's like, how are you gonna say that I have unlimited number of visits that insurance will pay for, but those visits have to be medically necessary. So if I have 2 therapist sessions in one day, then one's not medically necessary and not covered. And I'm like, that doesn't mean that I have unlimited visits then.
Yeah. It's kind of the opposite.
Gosh. Anyway, I digress. Welcome to the Adult Deck podcast, the place where you come learn how to stack your cards against the game of life. I am your host, Sharon Scott, and I am here with my husband and co-host, Mr. Peter Scott.
Sup, dudes, and dudettes,
and
everybody in between.
So today we are going to start to talk about where we are in the home buying process, how we got to this point, and what's coming up next. It's not going to be, like I said last week, it's not going to be a week-to-week series like the marriage pack was. But this is just us talking about our journey and a way for y'all to...
Yeah, this will be sprinkled into all the other episodes.
Definitely. We are...
I don't know what's going on, y'all. I'm just waiting to pay something. She's just working her butt off with all the other stuff.
I mean, I'm good at keeping things organized. I have, a little while ago at church, we did a gifts survey or whatever to see what your, God-given gifts are. And apparently mine was administration, so I'm leaning right into that. And I'm administrating this home buying and move.
Yeah, I'm the treasury. I was signing checks.
So we are moving to a new state. We are moving to West Virginia.
Yeah. It's gonna be a nice move.
It is, and I am truly excited. I am ecstatic for this journey. But I know most of you are probably thinking, why West Virginia? What's out there?
My job.
Yes. So as we all know, with the panini going on, I lost my job because of everything that's going on. And then we were trying to, decide whether I was going to go back to work, what was going to happen. And we decided that I would go into entrepreneurship full time.
Yeah, focus on this podcast, the Scott Enterprises production brand.
Yes.
You have the time, we got the money, we're fine. So take it while you can.
Well, and that was the thing too. We were like, how are we going to maintain our lifestyle with me not having a job and down to one income?
Still working at Block C.
Block C.
Yeah, just roll with it.
Okay. Yes. So.
That's what me and my crew calls it.
Block C.
My old crew.
That's funny. So as a result of us deciding what we were going to do, Peter, the loving and wonderful provider and husband that he is, decided to get a new job that would continue to pay all our bills and make sure we can still live the life that we have established.
Look, I didn't decide nothing. That's the first thing. God just kind of dropped it in my lap and was like, run with it. And I was like, all right. Pass me the baton.
Cool. Yes. So that new job is in West Virginia, and that's where we are relocating to.
Pay me a nice little penny to do less work.
Man, look.
I ain't mad at it.
It's nice. And it only gives you room for growth.
Yeah.
So.
And that's what's happening now. We got new tools we're about to get trained up on. So, padding that resume to get even more money.
Have at it. So with this move, we were, I guess at the beginning, we were just lost I mean, not lost, but I just didn't know where to begin. We just didn't know where to begin in the home buying process.
People will throw numbers at you. Oh, yeah, you just got to worry about paying 10% of what?
I was going to say, before we even got to the, like, numbers part, with us moving to a new state, I was like, look, before we decide if we really going to move here, we got to, like, survey the area, figure all this stuff out.
I was just going to get a gun license and call it a day. It's still going to happen, but she went down her Reddit rabbit hole.
I did. I was researching the area. Like, whenever you're about to move, research the area. I was on Facebook groups. I was on Reddit. I was looking at news articles. Peter went up there
twice. 2 times.
Twice? We went, well, you went up once by yourself. We went up after our anniversary trip, even.
Yeah.
And went out there.
To do fingerprints that day.
Yeah. And we went out there, ate at a not ate at a restaurant. Well, I mean, we
went to Wingstop. She's making it sound fancy.
I know. We went up there, got something to eat, just to like be in the area, be in the environment.
Yeah.
And none of my internal red flags went off while we were out there. I was like, oh, this is nice.
You know, when I went up there by myself, I had a conversation with some melanated friends up there, and just to get a survey of what they thought about the area.
That's the rule.
So, and they were like, it's cheap, it's good, nobody bothers anybody. And I was like, I like
That's
it
all
already.
I need to know.
I like it already.
So after we had like for real decided, yes, this is where we're going to go. We're going to make this transition. Yeah. Then came the talking to all of our family and all of our friends and like trying to, I want to say ascertain, but I don't think that's the right word.
Gauge. I mean,
gauge.
It might be the same word.
Probably. We was just trying to figure out what to do, where to start, how much money we should have saved up, all that good home buying stuff. So we started talking to family and friends just to see everything, I guess. So while we were talking to family and friends, it was like, I don't know. Everybody was kind of saying the same stuff, but also definitely saying different things.
And not telling us anything really.
And not really telling, like my thing is, I need to know number values. Like, I was like, okay, like asking direct questions.
Give me pictures, put up a diagram on a wall. I'm a visual learner.
Like, and everybody was just like, oh, well, talk to a lender and then get pre-approved and then pay your down payment and then go to closing. And I'm like, okay, but what does being pre-approved take? Like, how much do we have to put in a down payment?
What do I got to look for in a lender? Like,
that's
things like that.
Things like that. Or like, give me a dollar value. I saved about $8,000 before I was ready to move into my house. Like, that's the type of stuff I was looking for. But everybody was just like, oh, 5%, 2%. I was like, what does that even mean?
So here we are.
However, I did a very close friend, Imani. She was on one of the Marriage Pack episodes. I think she was like one of the first people who like real live broke it down and was like, okay, you need to do this. Talk to a realtor first, and then a realtor will put you in touch with their preferred lender, and then like all that stuff. And
then that's when we got more specific questions, and then that's when we started talking to other friends with a clear direction of what we need to know.
Yes. And I say talk to family and friends, because if you're moving into an area where you know somebody has already moved into, it kind of, for me, it definitely makes me feel comfortable working with a realtor or a lender that somebody that I know directly has worked with.
Right.
But of course we're moving to West Virginia and we don't really know nobody.
Ain't nobody in there.
So we were just like, all right, cool, go with it. So Imani had passed me to one of her realtor friends, and then her realtor friend sent me to a realtor that she was really close to and really close with, and we started talking to a realtor, getting out, you know, what we were looking for, the price range that we were trying to stick into.
Right, and actual, I guess, houses that match those ranges, because, you know, going on Zillow and Redfin, that's one thing, but actually having a realtor to say, all right, here's what you really should be looking at. These are the really good ones that are really cheap. So, that's always a blessing. And
I was asking her all of the questions. I was like, okay, what is the pre-approval process? Has anybody not been pre-approved? Like, you know, what type of, I don't know, anything. I was just like,
I
don't know nothing.
To know.
So we were talking to her, and then she was like, okay, here are some programs. But once we get you talking to a lender, they'll be able to very specifically point out what you need to do, where you need to go, things of that nature.
Yeah.
So after we talked to the lender,
Go ahead, keep going.
After we talked to after we talked to the realtor, she put us in contact with the lender. And we had a phone call with him, and I think he's okay.
He definitely gets context clues. That's what I like him. He was because we don't want to say anything that makes us look bad, so we can get the most out of what we're looking for.
Yes.
And he was picking up on all the hints I'm dropping.
Yes.
And I appreciated that.
So he was asking us more specific questions like, okay, of course, how much do you make? What's your income? But it was also like, how many bank accounts do you have? Like, how much money is in those specific bank accounts?
How much is your current rent?
How much is your current rent?
How many credit cards you got?
Roundabout, what do you pay in utilities? Yeah. All those type of things to get like a comprehensive view of our finances. And that's kind of what a lender does. A good lender, I'll say. They'll take a like real good, deep, comprehensive look at everything that you have going on now, to see what you can afford and not just throw you into something that you're going to sink in as soon as you get in there.
Yeah. I don't want to get to a house and have to move back to an apartment. That'd be depressing.
Very much so. Very much so. So we were talking to the lender, and he was going through all of our like credit score specific stuff. One thing that he did say that I did not know is that I use Credit Karma a lot. That's how I keep track of my credit history. That's how I try to keep track of what's going on, what needs to be paid, all this other stuff. However, Credit Karma is not an accurate credit score.
You would think by all the commercials they would be, one of the most accurate.
But no, apparently the credit score that like lenders and banks use, it is almost roughly 20 points lower than whatever's on Credit Karma. So the way he explained it, he was just like, make sure you have your credit score above, like 20 points above where you really need to be, so that we can be in good standing. We had to pay down some of our credit cards. Not a lot. We really only had 2
Which I don't get why that affected my credit card. So my credit score. But that's another talk for another day.
Yes.
Credit's a bum.
I would say we might get into some of that towards the end. Now we are at the point where we have paid off our credit cards in an attempt to boost our credit scores. My credit score is steadily going up.
And every time I pay off a credit card, mine goes down like 10 points. And I'm like, I'm going to kick somebody. I'm going to just hurt them. But you know what? I'm okay with that, because you know what they're going to do? They're going to use her credit score.
Not if I don't have a job.
Fingers crossed they use her. Look, mine was good even if I lost 20 points, but after losing 20 points,
it ain't that good no more. So I think as of right now, we're just like, okay, our lease here isn't up until June. So it's like, are we going to wait another month before we submit our loan application to keep our credit scores up and get yours in like a very good point? But I feel like every time we're doing the right stuff, look, we have had an episode where I have researched credit and how it's supposed to work, and it's not working that way. It's
not working that way.
And I'm just like,
you know who I blame? Government.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Government. That's their fault. Not mine. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. I pay rent on time. Consistently, never had an issue. Car notes almost gone. Late fees, that's almost out the window.
I'm like, we have been paying stuff. We have been grinding to prepare to buy this house, and to get this close and be like, you still need a little more work. Just like,
and if we wait till September and Joe does away with these student loans, look, I'm moving again.
After we've already moved to West Virginia
again, yeah, just to another house. A bigger house, because we can afford it at that point.
I bet you You'll get all of your student loans taken care of, and your credit score will still be the same. Like, no change.
It'll be like +1.
Yo, and it's one of those things where it's like, as soon as you do something, like, it's not like your credit score goes down by 1 point or like up by 1 point. No, it goes up by 1 point or down by 50. Like, there's no in between. And I'm just like, all right.
Annoying.
Cool. So that's where we are.
Like, why can't married people just have a joint credit score? So, you know, you won't get impacted. Like, put both of them together, and then it's like...
Get the middle.
Divided by 2. Average it out. Whatever.
Man, look. So, although we have a lender and a realtor that we've been talking to, and I have gotten good vibes from them, nothing that has, like, set off my internal alarm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still shopping around for other people. I'm still shopping around for other people. Because... if there's anything I'm gonna do, it's going to be to support a black business or a black person. And our current lender and realtor is white. And say what y'all want. Look, I'm not saying that they have done anything wrong. No, I am not against.
Like I said, I like to do.
Like, great people. However, I would feel more comfortable seeing somebody that looks like me and working with somebody that looks like me. I don't know. I just like... And again, this is my own prejudices and my own biases, so whatever is what I feel. But I just feel like somebody that can look at you and see themselves is going to treat you differently than somebody who looks at you and sees something other.
Just sees a check.
Like, I'm sorry.
That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. And again, it's not that they have done anything wrong. We have had perfectly...
Yeah. Like I said,
wonderful conversations with them.
But it'll probably be something like everything's going great, but he doesn't consider what type of neighborhood he's looking at. Mm-hmm. It's just little things like that. Some a black lender would think of like, okay, not too many of us around here, maybe not there. But the other guy's like, new settlement, go sit.
Go ahead.
That's a nice house.
Yes. And also, I just thought of it and I lost it that quick. Oh no. Damn.
Yeah. Could be like that.
Oh, lenders. So, and another thing that I didn't know about, I thought whenever you bought a house, it was mandatory that you put some sort of down payment down. But there's a such thing as 100% financing where you don't have to put down the down payment.
It'll be higher mortgage, but it won't be that much higher.
Yeah.
Like 2% higher. And I'm kind of fine with that.
I was making room for...
Oh, no, that's it.
Okay.
I'm just piggybacking on her tail. And she did the research. I don't know nothing. I'm telling you.
I mean, you couldn't tell.
I signed a check.
My notes are gone. And I'm just like, bruh. So, yeah. We are looking... So, Dang it.
This is gonna feel so much better on Saturday.
Yes, it is. Like, and this is the perk that y'all get to seeing us live, cause, but so 100% financing, and our current lender was, he gave us the whole spiel, let us know everything, let us know the differences. However, I feel like, I don't know. I just want to look more into the different programs there are. And if there are not any first-time home buyer programs that work for us, then, of course, I don't mind going with the 100% financing.
That, too. We were this close to being over.
Man, however, if we could talk to somebody that really looks at everything and is like, okay, you could pull out a down payment assistance program, then I'm like, all right, cool, let's go that route. But once we mentioned to our current lender that we were looking at 100% financing, he was like, all right, cool, I'm not even gonna mention anything else. And I was just like, let's look at all of our options here, good sir. So,
but I don't know, although I am paying, I'm also cheap. Mm-hmm. So if I can pay less up front, I'm cool with that. Like, I don't mind the mortgage. We're going to be there for a while.
I mean, yes, but why pay an extra interest rate if we don't have to?
because we don't have to.
Exactly.
Look, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe that's just how I think about finances.
Yeah, but also this is why I'm shopping around for another lender. My cousin actually had a friend who has a family member who moved to the same town that we're looking into in West Virginia. So I'm waiting to see like what lender they used, and if they use the same lender, cool, no problem. But if they use somebody else, we'll have a call with that other person.
Yeah. Weigh our options.
Weigh your options.
I get that. But I don't know. When I bought my car, it was kind of the same way. They was like, if you wait, because they, I turned in my van that helped me with $1,000, and they were like, if you can come up with $800 more, it'll be $200 less on my car note. But I didn't opt in for that, and I still paid off my car like 3 years earlier. So I feel like that's going to be the same with the house. That's how I handle finances. Like, I don't want to pay up front. I'll pay it off early, though.
We'll see what this other lender has to say. And this is a part of being married and going through this process, because it's like, as you can see, we have two different viewpoints on how to get this done.
I know a car is different from a house, but still. Car note, mortgage, what's the difference?
I mean, at base level, I guess you're right. It's not that much of a difference. Like, you're paying for something that you're going to own that you had to get a loan to pay for. But
we'll see.
We'll see.
And we'll update you guys on what we choose.
Yes. So how do you feel about moving in general? To a new state, to everything?
I'm here for it. I never really dreamed or had any big inclinations of moving anywhere specific.
Yeah.
So moving is moving for me. West Virginia, it's nice. It's a lot of land. It's quiet. It's private. And that's really all I care about. Wherever we did move, I would want it to be quiet and private, just like the apartment building we're in now is quiet and private and the cut. So, I mean, I'm just excited for a new location.
Yeah.
That's more what it is. I'm excited to own a house that is mine, that has space. Because being in a 1-bedroom apartment and we just keep buying more stuff, it's getting tight.
Yeah. Like, I love to, like, joke and tell people that, like, yeah, we got an apartment, but it's also an apartment, an office, a studio.
It's getting tight.
Like, it's a lot.
It's a lot in here. Surprised the floors haven't collapsed.
Man.
It's dirty.
God.
But one thing about this house is we're going to make sure we bring a level and level everything.
Yes. Look, yo, stop. Okay. All right, I'm going to talk about...
Nitpicker. That's what I'm going to do.
I'm going to talk about... So first, how I feel about moving.
Yes, how do you feel about moving?
Because I was about to
dear.
Go down a tangent. I feel great about it, to be honest. I am looking forward to being in a new location. And, like, as I was, like, going over and typing up the notes for this episode and, like, really thinking about it, it's like, I've lived in so many different places. I'm just like, all right, let's go. Like, I have no...
I've lived in PG County my whole life.
See?
Entire life.
I have lived in North Carolina in a small town. I went to school and spent 4 years in Virginia, lived in Maryland most of my life. So I'm just like, why not add West Virginia to the list? Like, I'm ready to go. And I just love enjoying.
Oh, I lived in Pennsylvania for a bit. That's college. It's not really living. I think that's the most living I've done, though.
Yeah. Like, I just enjoy being in new places. And it's interesting. One of these days, I'll put up my North Carolina move story. Because it's a lot. But after I had got over that initial shock of moving to North Carolina, how I did, I, like, grew to love it. I grew to love the environment and the different people that were there. And the same thing when I went to school in Virginia. Like, I went to Lynchburg College. It's now the University of Lynchburg, but to me it will forever. But to me it'll forever be Lynchburg College.
Lynchburg University. Woo!
That's not even it. It's University of Lynchburg.
LU.
That's Liberty University. Please do not get that confused. But even in Lynchburg, it was just like I said, new environment, new people. And then being in college, you just get people from like all over the place
everywhere
in one location. And I think that's what truly fostered like my love for hearing people's like different stories and their different life experiences. So I'm super excited about moving to a new state. I'm like, all right, let's go see what this is about.
Yeah. Me, I'm just, my parents not listening. I just want to move further away. I went 4 hours away for college, came home. Then I moved 45 minutes away to this apartment. And I'm moving another hour 30. I'm here for it.
So, okay. I'm getting ahead of myself because I keep thinking about stuff I want to mention.
But also, wherever you move in America, it's going to be the same. It's America.
I mean,
it's not really going to be different unless you go out of the state.
Country. I was gonna say, or unless you move to like a big city like New York or California or something like that.
I mean, I've been to DC.
Yeah, but I think it's different like actually living there. You've never lived in DC. And DC isn't quite New York. They try.
It's DC.
All right.
If you can survive in Gotham, you can survive anywhere.
Yeah. So, the thing that you said about a level, I find that hilarious. So me and Peter's like comfort show, or at first it previously has been our comfort show.
That's changing. This watch through, man.
So me and Peter's like comfort show, whenever we don't have nothing else to watch, or whenever we're like tired of focusing and watching stuff for the first time, we go back to How I Met Your Mother. And I've seen the show like no less than 20 times from beginning to end since from college to now. Like,
facts.
But in the show, a couple, Marshall and Lily, they buy an apartment and they
bought an apartment.
They bought
That's
an apartment.
the first thing.
Well, I mean, it's New York.
In New York.
It's New York.
Continue.
So they bought an apartment and found out that their apartment was crooked. And I'm like, again, my whole life, I'm like, bruh, how can you like not know that your apartment is crooked? You about to spend all this money on a place, yada, yada, yada. I get here, our fucking counter is crooked. I set a water bottle down on the side and that bitch just rolled. And I was like, oh, we just rented a crooked apartment.
Yeah.
So.
Anytime you go in the kitchen, your right leg's higher than your left leg. It's a whole thing.
I was gonna say, you can't fix tea on that corner. Don't fill your cup up too far because it'll tip out. So that's why I find it so funny that you're like, you're gonna bring a level and like
everywhere.
Make sure it's flat.
Good. I'm bringing a long industrial one too, the big thick one. Yep.
Cause like you go through life and you learn lessons and you're just like, I'm not
never
for that shit again.
Never again.
I don't know what we could have done if we would have like saw that it was crooked on the inspection, but I also just think it's funny that like y'all renting out crooked apartments.
Then 2 months later, the roof man, apartments are a thing.
Yes, and this is the first time you lived in an apartment. I mean, other than college.
But yeah.
But was it really an apartment?
Well, me and James lived in there, yeah. When it was 4 people in there, no, it was just a dorm room.
So it's like, it's been a ride, and it's so funny that like, to me, I feel like God knows, like, starts pushing me and making me uncomfortable when it's time for me to like change and level up in life. Cause like the same thing happened at your parents' house.
And God knows if she's uncomfortable, I'm uncomfortable because look,
so.
I can ignore just about anything, but her, can't ignore her.
Nope. Yes. So we're not gonna buy a cricket house. We're gonna make sure it's straight.
Look, the backyard can be crooked, downhill, uphill, whatever. Just not the house.
We can't buy a trampoline in a cricket yard.
She can't buy a trampoline in a crooked yard. Now, I'm going to just put legs on one side that's longer than the other, and it's going to be straight.
Look, our kid's going to grow up crooked. It's going to be forever leading. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Godly.
So what's the last few tidbits you want to give them as this begins for us?
As this begins for us, what I've learned so far, you can talk to your family and friends about ideas on what the home buying process can be.
But you gotta tell them be specific.
You can tell them be specific, and also keep in mind that their process is not necessarily going to look like your process. Our financial situation is not the same as our friends who bought a house.
The world isn't the same as our parents, that's for sure.
The world isn't the same as our parents. Keep that in mind when you talk to older people about it. So that's two things. And feel free to shop around for realtors or lenders. Don't be afraid to look up people's social medias and see what they have. Use the internet to your advantage.
Mm-hmm. Make sure you research your neighborhood. If you don't know if it's a predominantly black or mixed neighborhood, look it up so you know if you're safe or not. Because as you know out there, it ain't too safe for anybody, really.
Man.
But specifically, black people.
Yes. Oh, and another thing that I kind of wanted to touch on, maybe not, but don't let your family, I guess, dictate where you move to, because
good or bad.
Good or bad.
Because it's bad. Well, I just want to move.
But I say that because like your family can, I don't want to say stifle you. But
they can hold you back.
They can hold you back. You owe it to yourself and the person that you are individually.
Why are you moving so far away? When are we ever going to see you? Get in your car and drive.
That's it. Like, and we've heard that a lot from both of our families. And a lot of concern just about it being West Virginia in general and all of those stereotypes that comes with it.
I knew people, and that's, yes.
Go ahead and say it. Yes. We got time.
No, I was just saying, I knew people, especially when I went to college. A lot of the people I hung out with, a lot of them were from West Virginia. There's one thing I'm excited for is to hook up with them so I can get some authentic moonshine.
Authentic?
Just let me tell you.
Yes.
The stuff they brought back to college.
Man, look.
Whew.
Yeah. Yes. And then, so, like, just don't be afraid to branch out. Don't be afraid to do something new. It's scary and nerve-wracking. I'm not going to lie. I was I was nervous about moving to a new state away from my family. But at the end of the day, like I said, I've lived in North Carolina. I've lived in Virginia. I've lived in Maryland. Why not? You always found a way to see me then. You'll find a way to see me now. And I owe it to myself to learn and experience new things. I am all about life experiences.
And that's a fact, Jack.
Yes. So please stick tuned as we continue to go throughout this whole process. As of right now, we are boosting our credit score and shopping around for a second opinion on a lender or realtor. And yeah, we'll keep you all posted. Like I said, it's not going to be an every week thing because every week we're not going to have something to talk about. Nah. But it's
going to be sprinkled in.
Yes, but we will definitely give you updates. Whew. What's coming up next week? I don't know either. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll see you all next week.
It's been real, y'all.
Bye.
Hey everybody, co-host Peter stopping by to say thanks for watching and to let you know if you like this video, check out last week's video and the playlist with all of our episodes. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when our vlogs, podcasts, and gameplays drop. It's been real, y'all.